Holy. Making a mess. Holy. Morning, everyone. Pop, 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 pop. I want to see for this morning session. I am more bullish than bearish, but I want to see a run on liquidity below this low. We are inside of this daily SIBI, which it was pretty much on the post that I did on X, highlighting this buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency. Depending upon on how we react inside of this very specific range, is gonna dictate the rest of the week. Now, looking at on the higher time frame, like I said, we have to be really careful inside of this higher time frame consolidation range because we can see the clearest model, we can see the greatest trade, and you can definitely easily get chopped around based on the price action that we're having on the daily time frame. And how do we know it's a high resistant liquidity run price conditions? It's because the previous candles is sharing the same range as the next candle. So we see this big candle right here. We have this candle, this candle, this candle, this candle pretty much within the same range. So this is what's called high resistant liquidity runs, where we're not having a clear direction of where price wants to go. But as of now, I am definitely leaning more bullish than bearish because we see this drop in here inside of this busy, taking out salsa liquidity below here. We have displacement, retraced, displacement, then this candle right here went below this low. So that's salsa liquidity taken. Now we have displacement, created relatively equal highs inside of that daily volume imbalance. And now we're having a retracement inside of this daily. One of the things that I would like to see though, for me to be and say, okay, it's definitely good enough. I want to see a run on liquidity below this low before going to relatively equal highs. Now, one of the things that I say about equal highs is that smooth edges tend to be made jagged. I say, and I'm not gonna um get tired of saying those. Smooth edges tend to be made jagged, so we have relatively equal highs right here, which are also high probability highs. Why is it high probability? Because the high on the right is lower than the high on the left. So this right here becomes high probability. And I would like to see smart money to drop it down below this low and then form smart money reversal towards the upside. It could easily do it before taking this low, but I would like to see them. That's my anticipation. And let's see how today's morning session is going to unfold. And let's see how today's morning session is going to unfold. Definitely excited for this week. I have a lot of journaling to do this week, a lot of practice, and yeah, that's what I'm here to do, man. So there we have that social liquidity taken right here. So now, at any point when smart money reversal is confirmed, this is where the liquidity is. So as of now, we have to be careful. It's the first 30 minutes of couple minutes. It's Monday. We have to give it a little bit more time to do what it wants to do. Market recently just opened, but look at the narrative of what I said before going to this point right here. I was anticipating price to go below this low. Guess what happened? 9:30 opens and goes to that random level right here inside of an area where we are anticipating price to reject, which is the daily busy. So if now nothing has happened yet in terms of which direction. Well, in terms of, oh, the market is gonna move now. Narrative is higher prices, but that confirmation hasn't happened yet. Also, one of the reasons why we could anticipate higher prices is we have this gap right here, this 4 hour SIBI. And prices goes up for two different reasons. We're either going to rebalance into an inefficiency or we're going to seek liquidity. And on this time frame right here, we see that we rebalance the busy, daily busy, buy set imbalance, sell set inefficiency. And then here we have a 4 hour gap, which price will seek to rebalance either today if we're going to go higher or at a later point in time. Now let's play devil's advocate. What if price never really goes towards these generated by sell liquidity and then it just keeps going lower? That's fine. If the narrative is like understanding that we must stick to what we think it's gonna happen. If we're going back and forth switching bias, you won't be able to have consistency with it. So if I'm anticipating higher prices, this whole down move, I'm looking at this whole down move as the Judas swing taking place. I'm not looking at this move and it's like, oh, I was looking for higher prices. Now it's going lower. Let me just switch my bias and go short. No, no, no. Understand narrative. Because if you're looking for higher prices and price start going lower, then you should be cheesing. It's like, okay, that's exactly what I want to see. Because what's the narrative? At 9:30 equity open, the first move, the first initial move for the drawn liquidity, most of the time, usually, not all the time, let me make that very clear, it's the wrong direction. So if I'm looking for higher prices and then price at 9:30 equity open starts going lower, that's exactly what I want to see. Because usually, most of the time, the first move at 9:30 equity open is the wrong move. Gems. Gems on a random stream. Now, what do we also have in here? Like we have this high, and this high. We have triple top. This is what I call priming. It's like this is giving the idea to retail traders that this is the strongest resistance of human history. The strongest resistance of human history. Now, can I leave this at a later point in time and just go 3,000 points lower? Again, it doesn't really matter to me because I'm not looking for lower prices. Now I'm paying attention to consequent encroachment of this 4 hour wick. Are we gonna trade into it and reject it? Or are we going to fail to even trade into it and then go higher? We're seeing complete disrespect of that for our wick as of now. Still, what's the narrative? And here are the things. Um, I say, trader, you have to be completely and utterly fine with so many things, with so many different scenarios. Like you have to be completely fine with you sitting on a chart for hours and seeing nothing. You have to be completely fine sitting within an hour and losing a trade. You have to be completely fine with watching the charts and seeing nothing, having a small win, having a losing streak, not feeling like you're the shit when you're on a winning streak. You have to be a masochist. That's what it is. So let's say this right here from this point right here from here to this also liquidity pool. Let's say if I was looking to be part of a move, I would have missed it. Because again, narrative. Um Price seems bullish. I'm considering this to be the Judas win. And like I said on the post later, I was pretty late at night. This right here, we're inside of a big consolidation, so no clear price action where price wants to move, and you have to be very picky with the trades. Can you understand then that this is a Judas swing and trade the sell side of the curve and then wait for buy side of the curve? Absolutely, you can do that. But on price action like this, I try to be more on the where the probability lasts more, or there are more probabilities as opposed to taking every single fluctuation of price action. And even that today, Monday, I'm just doing this like as a study session, and seeing price for what it is. I'm not trying to push a button. And actually, this is what I'm gonna do right now. That's exactly what this is gonna become. Study session. So as of now, in here, I'm not thinking about going short or thinking that price is gonna go 3,000 points lower. The only thing that I'm thinking about right now is price has, in my opinion, already created the Judas win. It is more reasonable for price to want to retrace higher, especially on this triple top right here, which is Candy Land, where the liquidity actually is, and pretty much attack that buy sell liquidity pool. So this is the market efficiency paradigm. It's like we already took social liquidity. We went below this low. We are inside of this daily busy. This right here, just a little bit coloring outside the line, just a little deviation for what would be considered to be perfect. And we are below this social liquidity pool. So in this instance, what are we looking for? Me personally, I'm looking for smart money reversal to kick in. A moment we go above with this place right here below this SIBI, which is a sell side imbalance buy side inefficiency, that's when we could easily use this as support on price and then go first of all inside of this gap and then generate a buy side liquidity above here. But until that happens, there's nothing to do in here. There's no looking for lower prices because we already went to the drawn liquidity, which is the sell side liquidity pool. In the market efficiency paradigm is when sell side is taken, we go for buy side. When buy side is taken, we go for sell side, and so forth. Now, what am I personally looking for now? I want to see this most of this gap to stay open. That's what I would like to see. I want to see the next candle open, go high, close above the SIBI, and use the red shaded area as support and price, and go for low hanging fruit from here to here. That's 60 handles. Price goes up for two different reasons. We're either going to seek liquidity or to rebalance into an inefficiency. I want to see this stay as a breakaway gap. No, I can't believe I'm doing this. Uh, Hello, Jim. Why am I anticipating this gap to stay open? Well, that's because it broke from inside of a consolidation range. So from this high to this low, everything everything inside of this price action right here is balanced. So this right here becomes a BPR, balance price range. So when and this is one of the reasons why when retail minded traders they learn a little bit about fair value gaps and they're like fair value gaps doesn't work. Look, it didn't even retrace into this one because we're not even anticipating price to go into this one. This is not a fair value gap. This is this is a balanced price range. And even though I could draw into it, it is most likely that I won't. But this is a balanced price range. And what did I say? I want to see this one get retraced into it. Next candle open, go high. Next candle, go into it, and then go higher. Can it draw into it? Yes. And still go higher? Yes. Is it most likely to do so? No. And that's the flexibility that we need to have when it comes to the narrative and having that clear understanding of price. And today is a Monday, not anticipating the cleanest price action. What just happened? Now, we were anticipating this gap to stay completely open. Now we are having a retracement into it. We're waking through it. This is a clear sign of we're not gonna have the clearest price action ever. Because this is narrative in and of itself. It's like if we're anticipating this gap to stay open and then price retraces into it, can price still go higher? Yes, but it's not gonna be in the clearest fashion, in the clearest fashion, as opposed to going inside of this inversion, like I said, and then sprinting towards the upside. Now this right here, this happening is clear sign of we're gonna have a resistant liquidity run conditions. Let's say if we went into a trade inside of this inversion, stopped out because we're not looking for this gap to stay. We're not looking to this for this gap to get traded into. Or easily I could have, if I was looking to take a trade to save stop losses right here, right at that sell liquidity pool. But this right here is already clear indications that we're not gonna have a easy lower system liquidity run conditions, which I personally, those are the kind of days that I like to trade. Can you make money off trades like of days like this? Yes, you can trade it, but this is my personal take on it. I rather just stay on the sidelines, do this study sessions, so people that are new to the trading game can learn. But yeah, and let's make this very clear. Let's not be demanding too much for a Monday. It's the first day of the week. Market just open, you know, finding its place to where it will most likely draw towards. So let's keep that in mind, or at least keep that to me myself in mind, not be demanding a lot for Monday. This is still looking pretty neat. We see Wicks still doing the damage, but body telling the narrative. We are still closing inside of this gap right up here. And as long as we stay inside that range, easy draw on liquidity, we could easily go towards the inefficiency right here. Now, price should go higher from here. We should not go below this low because we already rebalanced instead of this busy. And if we're gonna go above this buy sell liquidity pool and then this SIBI, it has to do it now. Liquidity right up here. And this from this low to that high to this low, that's pretty much OTE. The flagship pattern from ICT, taking out the 2022 model. We have 62 to 79% retracement level. And bro, like this is just like, bro, like come on, man, come on, bro, like just come on. Oh my god. Of course that is random. Of course. The most random thing that just happened right there. So stop loss for me would have been below this right here. I would have trailed it below this one. Absolutely. So let's say if hypothetically speaking, brisk disclaimer in the description. Stop loss is right here. There's no reason for price to do another take on and then go ahead. Can I do it? Yes. If I would have been on the trade, would I be fine if I get stopped out and it does that? Absolutely fine. Because there's no price should go up from here. We already rebalanced this inefficiency instead of this BPR. And long and behold, where do you think we are rejecting instead of this balanced price range? Oh my god, I need to chill out. So from this busy to that high, that is 70 handles, 80 handles, 70 plus handles. We're not talking about that we haven't got here yet. We're not talking about that we haven't got to this liquidity pool, which is another 100 handles. Ooh, look at this. Look at this right here. So in here, all the hopes and dreams. Oh my god, bro! Like I love this game. Y'all don't understand how much I love this game. Yo, that was buying and selling pressure right there. Take in mind the most important thing in trading is to learn when not to trade. Like people can have a good model. They can have a good understanding of narrative. But if you trade on date like this, you're not making money, my brother. You can be well, probably ICT can, but if you're a student of these concepts, like it won't happen because who is making money in this? This is what's happening. Prices open, went to the social liquidity pool, and it's just consolidating. And I used to get frustrated from days like this, trying to change it, trying to go in there and make it not be like this. But at the end of the day, if you're in this game, you need to align with what it's happening. That's pretty much it. So now we took again the social liquidity pool. Now, if I would have been on a trade, I would have been completely stopped out, and um, I wouldn't be on the charts because this right here, if it would have happened on a day where I'm live trading, yeah, it's that was some selling pressure right there for sure. Capital preservation, family. Capital preservation. Being a day trader does not mean that you're an everyday trader. That's not what we are here. We focus on high probability market conditions, and if the probability are not there, and if the setup is not there, then guess what? There is no trade. And how do I feel about this? Oh, it didn't went to the buy sell liquidity pool, and then it just went lower, even though that I'm still anticipating it's gonna go here. Well, there's no trade. Like, there's nothing to worry about. We're doing this study session together. I hope so. And this is pretty much what it is. So after a complete demolition, we went below all of this social liquidity pool one more time. Right there, we reclaimed this busy value gap. So now we are seeing it functioning as support on price. Fun fact, side note, this is exactly what I am anticipating every Monday. I don't do this study sessions or for just picking a random day to do it. It's just me personally, I'm avoiding taking unnecessary risk. And what we did, once again, priming, giving the idea to retail traders that this is strong resistance. What do we have right here? Priming, giving the idea to retail traders that that's strong resistance. And everybody is chasing this right here. The narrative is and even though Phil right here got online and did this manual demolition, narrative is still the SIBI, relatively equal highs, which got taken as anticipated. There we go. That's the second. Now, if price goes above this SIBI, easy becomes this again. And like this is just all like it's just there, folks. It's just there. Yeah, this was great. Oh my god, this was a great study session stream. Want to see price stay right here. Better if this stays open. It could retrace into it. Better if it stays as a breakaway gap. We see this candle right here going inside of the inversion FEG now. We're gonna retrace into it. We don't want to see price go below this low. And we want to see a portion of this gap stay open. That's more for it having a springboard towards that buy sell liquidity pool. If it wants to keep the smoothness that we have. So this pretty much will do it for the stream. And I still believe we're gonna go towards that generated by the liquidity pool. Uh, like again, this is a high resistant, clearly high resistant liquidity run conditions, and we're having a lot of coloring outside the lines, which it's one of the main reasons of why I decided to do a study session. But again, that was the narrative. If we are looking for higher prices, what do we see? 930 open and low. That's the Judas win. We're not chasing this. We're not trying to. Oh my God, the price is going lower, so I'm just gonna go short. Nah. The narrative is, I was looking for this buy side liquidity pool when we see 930 open and low. That's what we want to see. And again, narrative is still higher prices in here. I'm gonna go and go back to the drawing board. And yeah, we'll be here tomorrow. We will be here tomorrow. God's willing.